The theme for this week's message centers around one word. That word's discipline. So I'd like to dedicate our time this week, whether you're a sales leader or you're a sales professional, to the word discipline. To quote the legendary coach, Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz went on to say this: winners embrace hard work. They love the discipline of it, the trade-off they're making to win. Losers, on the other hand, see it as punishment, and that's the difference. My question to all of you this week: are you willing to embrace hard work? Are you willing to become radically disciplined? Think about it. Are you willing to become radically disciplined? Again, this message is aimed at sales leaders leading a sales team or salespeople leading themselves. What would it mean this year if you could increase your sales revenue by 50%? How would this make you feel? And what would this allow you to do? Simple thing, simple question. Are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to make it happen? Here's some vice grips here. See these? These vice grips hold on to things. What's holding on to you? What's holding on to you to become even better than you can become right now? Leo Tolstoy once said this: everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. See, it's one thing. It's one thing to know how to change. However, it's another to be willing to change. This becomes the age-old classic. It's the can-do versus the will-do mentality. And you see, when you're not willing to change, you keep yourself in limbo, or oftentimes I'll refer to it as a state of complacency. You may share with others how you will try to change, but trying is one thing. Committing to the journey is another thing. See, when you admit you are willing to change, you'll be surprised. You will absolutely be surprised how the excuses soon start to disappear. And we know the age-old quote that we've heard over and over and over again: the truth shall set you free. But you see, growing your sales is going to require you to do new and different things. So here's my question. This is aimed at sales leaders, and it's going to be aimed right at you, salespeople. How many of you this year would like to grow your sales by 50%? I'm listening. I believe I'm hearing a virtual resounding yes being shouted back at me. Therefore, here's what I want us to think about. And there's 4 questions I have for you right now to think about. Are you willing to take 100% responsibility for making this happen? Are you willing to stop blaming, criticizing, and pointing fingers? Are you willing to get more interested in learning than defending your ego? Lastly, are you willing to allow yourself grace as you learn and relearn new skills? You see, growth and comfort do not play well together. Never have, never will. To quote George Bernard Shaw, George went on to say this: progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. And as I bring our time to a close this week, and by the way, I sincerely thank you for hanging out with me in this week's message around discipline. I'm going to ask all of you to zero in on the following. If you want to achieve the results that no one is achieving, then you must be willing to do the things that no one is doing. Go back to the vice grip. Remove the vice grip that's holding you back. and watch what starts to happen. I will share with you this in my next week's message. It's going to be part 2 of this message. I'm going to zero in on 3 things that I believe you can double down on that will increase your sales results this year by 50%. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to become disciplined? Are you willing to remove the excuses? Because if you are, you will achieve even greater results than what you all are achieving right now. I sincerely thank each and every one of you. Together we are building this movement. I am on a mission to bring authenticity, integrity, and trust back into the sales profession. It's sorely needed. Will you please join me? Will you please join me on this movement? I do know this. People would rather connect and do business with a sales professional who sells from the heart as opposed to a sales rep who is an empty suit. Have a blessed week.